Paralysis by analysis. That's what you get from the other guys, but not here, not now, and not ever. This is the Baseball Insider Show, presented by BCWSA. A look deep inside the game from a former player's perspective. The Baseball Insider Show, presented by BCWSA, is brought to you by BCWSA, The Pines Tavern, Penn Community Bank. We now go live for the Baseball Insider Show, presented by BCWSA. Now, here are your hosts, Phillies Director of Fun and Games, John Brazer, and former pitcher from the '93 National League champion Phillies, Tommy Greene.
All right, welcome to the Baseball Insider Show, presented by BCWSA, live from the CP Rankin Club at Citizens Bank Park. I'm John Brazer, joined by my co-host, the great Tommy Greene. Tommy.
Hey, pal, I like the way you say that.
The great Tommy Greene, yep. And Tommy, we got a great show lined up today. We're going to talk about the Phillies week in baseball, which a lot of stuff went on. We had a dramatic ninth inning comeback in Anaheim. We had an offensive rout.
We had a great week, period.
Great week, 5-1. I think we were. We'll go.
Yes, we were.
So we're going to go around baseball. We'll give you some news and stats around the league, and I think we're even going to increase our lead against the Braves, because we're playing the Braves are losing right now 4-1 in the eighth inning. So We'll talk about that. We're going to have a lot of guests today. We're going to have Scott Lauber, who joins us all the time from the Inquirer.
And our favorite guy,
Jason Firestone, is going to be bringing by our dinner, because he comes by and brings a different food item every time we do a show down here. So always good to see Jason. And we'll get you set up for tonight's nationally televised ESPN game against the Giants. But first, Tommy,
I'm not outnumbered anymore at this table.
You're right, because let's bring on our first guest. Now, we're not going to be here on Mother's Day, right? Because that's next Sunday.
That's next week.
We're actually going to be at the Pines Tavern.
Yes, we will.
But we figured we have, and I'm not just saying this because she's here, but my favorite player as a person is her son, Brandon Marsh, who is, I love that guy.
His personality is unbelievable.
We had him on our podcast, Backstage at Burgoyne and Brazier. I met Sonia during the playoffs last year. Let's bring on Sonia Marsh, the mother of Brandon Marsh. Sonia, how are you doing?
I'm doing well, thank you. Thanks for having me.
Well, thanks for coming. I know that it's interesting that we're doing the show in the CP Rankin Club.
Yep.
And you have a very good relationship with Craig Rankin.
Craig and Kristen, yes. Yep, they're great.
Up sport.
I know, yes. we got the hat in the house.
Yes, we do.
And I know during the playoffs, I remember I'm very, I'm sure that we all are, but very superstitious, and I bounce around, and if it's doing well, I
you
stay
have no
there.
idea when he says that.
And if not, I move exactly. I could move halfway across the stadium. But I knew exactly where your spot was. It was right coming out of that entrance, I think.
Yeah,
on the high top in the corner, and Craig was usually there.
Yeah, Craig was there.
And you would be standing up on that high top, right?
Yes. Well, I can't see over everyone.
Right.
And I have to position myself accordingly.
Challenged.
Right. Well, everyone's standing in playoff.
Yeah,
everyone's
true.
in the zone, right?
Well,
and no one's moving, just like you. No one's going to move.
I was trying to remember. It was one of the games. Me and my wife, and my wife's like 5'1.5", 5'2". Didn't sit down the whole game.
Yeah,
that was the game that we got no hit in. Back in the day.
Against Houston.
She was in the seat for 6 innings, standing up in the seat.
In the seat.
And still couldn't see.
And
still couldn't
that's
get
bad,
it.
man.
It couldn't bring us a hit.
But that's the beautiful thing about this park, is that no one sits. And even when it's May, no one's sitting.
No, you got to be prepared when you come.
All right, so
that's the way it's going to be.
We're at the CP Rankin Club, and I know you spend a lot of time here, and the restaurant here, and John Doyle and everyone here. But how about this, Tommy? It took me a little while to see it, because John said, check out this. If Sonia's coming on, this is the menu for the CP Rankin Club. What are you looking for?
It took me a minute, too.
Yeah,
I'm trying to.
Exactly.
You're looking for a name like a Brandon Marsh cheesesteak or something. But no, look right here.
Oh, my God,
right?
the picture.
Right?
So if you can see right there.
This is the southern exposure that doesn't catch on so quickly.
I'm looking for
I
the
didn't
name.
catch on either. And so John Doyle did this. Look at that.
That's cool.
The background. Brandon Marsh. That's got to be pretty cool, right?
Yeah, it's perfect. Yeah,
Take it you got one to keep at home, right?
I do have one.
Okay,
and
awesome.
Julietta's going to print me off one, too.
That's
so
good.
she doesn't know that yet, but that's the ask.
All right, so let's talk about Brandy. So you have 2 kids, correct?
I do.
And I know and 2 great athletes, because your daughter was the NCAA bronze medalist, I think, in the heptathlon. And
yes, she's a heptathlete.
And in the silver medalist in the pentathlon.
Yes.
Is that now? Is she in college now?
She's finished. She graduated from Duke a year and a half ago. But she just won Pan Am Games, too, in Chile.
Well,
last November, she came in gold, first place.
that leads to where did they get these genes from?
Well,
it's got to be from you, right?
Well, me, yes, mostly me. I would say 80-20. No, their dad was very athletic.
Okay.
Yeah, any ball he touched, he could do something with. So,
okay.
And Brandon's the same way. Now, Aaron's not so good with the ball, but anything else she's got, yeah.
Now, did you play sports?
I did not. I do play tennis now, competitively and regularly, but I did not growing up. I'm not a runner. No. I don't like to voluntarily sweat. No.
So who
I like that.
Who wins in a race? Now Brandon's very fast. Who wins in a race?
Super fast. Well, I mean, to hear Aaron say she could beat him all day long twice on Sunday, but Brandon says he has her in the 100. After that, he'll tap out.
He's got the shorter rate.
Yes.
And after that, because he has no stamina, he's done.
Yeah, he's out.
He's just a sprinter.
Now,
he's got the 100.
Brandon told me the story on the podcast that, and I knew this, that his beard and his hair is really an homage to your late ex-husband, your late husband.
Yes.
Who was very meticulous in his grooming, right?
Perfect. He was perfect.
He shaved every day and had
everything was perfect.
And so Brandon decided to go the opposite.
Well, he expected Brandon to always be well put together, always.
Well, he is. He's physically a specimen.
Well, yes. Well, underneath all of it, it's all good. I think honestly, to not be to harp on this too long, that because Jake was such a great guy, and did everything right, and things didn't end the way we wanted them to for him.
Yeah.
Brandon's just like, let's go. I'm just going with what I want to go with. I'm going with the flow. I'm going to let my hair grow, and then we'll see what happens. But now it's his brand.
Right.
Now he can't do anything about it.
By hearing this, you obviously like it. You know, 'cause my mom hates when I have my gray beard.
No, he's such a handsome kid. I would love for him to showcase how handsome he is, but it keeps the girls away right now. So Mom likes that.
My wife saw a picture of Brandon.
You know you can do something about that gray, right?
I know. my wife saw a picture of Brandon. I think it was in his baseball. It must have been in college.
I don't think I've ever seen a picture of him without the beard.
Oh, my wife saw it and said, "Oh my God, he's really hot."
Oh yeah. Well, nice.
Yeah, my wife thinks he's really hot. I don't think it's a threat.
You got a picture of him? I want to see him before I leave it.
I've got one. I'll show you. Yes. Yeah.
All right. So
I haven't seen him.
So I always love to hear, like, when did you as a parent think that it was even remotely possible that Brandon could make a living playing a sport? Like, at what point? At what point at his age? Was he high school maybe?
It was high school, definitely high school. And it had to have been senior year because he was touring with football and baseball, right?
And what position did he play in football? What kind of?
Wide receiver.
Also,
And corner. And he was fast and he's smart, right?
And he's corner, so he hit somebody. I mean,
and no one caught a ball on his side all senior year, he'll tell you.
Shoulders and stuff like that. I worry about football players who come to baseball, shoulders.
Well, he liked giving the hit versus taking the hit.
Yeah, and that tells what we were talking about earlier. He must like to hit people.
And he grew, too, right? He went from 5'9" to...
Junior year, he was like 5'10" and graduated at 6'2", and now he's 6'4" and some change, right?
Yeah.
So
he's a big boy, man.
We didn't know where he was going to be, right? But scouts would come. College scouts weren't really interested in him. Pro scouts were his senior year because of his projectability,
right?
Which I learned that word that year.
Projectability.
Was not aware of that. So I don't know. We didn't really put his name in the hat until he was a senior. We didn't think about it. We were trying to just get him his college paid for. I didn't save up for that.
So that
was the same exact thing with me.
I
got drafted in the first round out of high school, but I wasn't trying to get drafted. I was trying.
We were not either.
I was trying to pay for my college.
Yes.
Back in the day.
Right.
You know? And that was the thing. I mean, it was. Except I was a little bit bigger. I was right at 6'5", 230 coming out of high school.
Oh no, and he still wasn't even 200. I mean, he just
I was grown.
He was a skinny fella.
But I still haven't grown up. I've still got the middle part of it. Still trying to catch up.
Well, and we don't want y'all to. Just have fun.
Definitely not. All right, so then he gets drafted 60th pick in the draft.
Correct.
So obviously that's a second round. That's
huge.
What was that like as a parent, seeing your son getting drafted in the second round?
It was surreal, really. We were just at the house. He had a few of his friends over, football and baseball. We just had some wings out and hanging out, and he got a little worried after when it got to pick 60. He's like, well, maybe I'll just go to college, Mom. Maybe I'll just go to college. And we were like, no, just
write it out.
Write it out. Senior year.
No, what year?
Oh, 16.
16? Okay, so that's
good.
That's still good.
But I was like, all these names going off the board are fantastic players. So just, stay in the mix. And he held solid to that. But it was great, and I'm glad his dad was here.
Right.
His dad was still
awesome.
here. I mean, it was a great party.
That's
All
awesome.
my great friends were there, and
That's great.
celebration.
That's
obviously.
awesome.
So then he
He went to college, correct?
No, he did not.
He did not. Is that high school?
No school. No college.
That's. I mean, you can't beat that, man.
Oh yeah, no, we were super
That's-
excited.
So then he gets.
You got to take a chance, do you, or don't you?
Well, and
or-
that's what I said. Do you want to play professional
That
ball?
was
This is
me.
your chance. And
See-
if not, you can go back to
College,
college.
yes.
Well,
Right, we're good.
That was the thing. I mean, I had to weigh that option. Back then, I got drafted in '85. Mm-hmm. The money wasn't as
Right, no.
It wasn't like that back then. So
Sure.
if I wasn't drafted in the first round, I was going to school.
Right.
I'd already told them. I said, it's not
Fair,
worth. It's not
yes.
worth. I got my college paid for.
Listen,
So-
and we had some friends that took that risk too.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know Joey Bart. Used
Right,
to
his
take
teammate.
that-
That was his
took
high
the
school
same risk,
teammate.
and it paid off tremendous
Right.
for
Yes.
him. Yeah,
That's
it was
awesome.
Beautiful.
That's
So he gets to the Angels and he makes the majors. And then next thing you know, he gets traded in a trade that's probably going to be great for both teams because Logan O'Hoppe
Sure.
was one of our top catchers. So he comes over to Philadelphia. So when he got traded to Philadelphia, what did you know about Philadelphia? And what
I'm
was
waiting
your,
for this answer.
what was your thinking that he's traded early in his career?
So there are a couple of things, right? So he's on the West Coast. He's on the American League team. So we're Braves fans still at this point, right? Because
Easy
we're from
now.
Atlanta. We're from Atlanta.
She said at this point.
At this point.
that point.
And then he
You
gets
know,
traded.
I got drafted by Atlanta, right?
No,
come
I
up
didn't
with
know
the
that.
Braves. I played in
didn't know
Atlanta
that.
a little bit.
How about that? No. Well, so he gets traded here, and he calls me about 30 minutes before the deadline, Mom. I think just if you see it on Twitter, it's probably true. I think I'm in the talks to go to Philly, and we had no idea that this was going to happen.
Have you ever been to Philly?
You know what? Funny story. He was asked to come up a week before the draft for a private workout with the Philly management. I don't know where they were considering. I know you guys had the 1-1 that year in 16 for Mickey Moniak. You picked Mickey Moniak. But anyway, he wasn't picked, at that point. But he was. So that's the first time I'd been to Citizens Bank Park then. But then, so he gets traded, and he just comes on over. Bryce Harper welcomes him in with open arms, just embraces him on the team and invites him to dinner. This is the funny story. Calls me 3 days later. Mom, you're never going to guess. Bryce has a chef. He's got, he cooks for him. He cleans the kitchen up. He goes to the grocery store. All this. It's fantastic. I'm like, dude, you've had that for 20 plus years. I don't know what you're talking about.
Would you take? You need to come talk to my wife. I ain't had none of that.
I'm like, you've had that this whole time. Why is that so special? Anyway, and he said, this is how a professional team is run. And from that point forward, I didn't worry at all. He was mentally glad to be here. And
You can tell he's playing with a lot of, freedom, and his enjoyment is showing.
Well, he's even said that, I think, in one interview, that this team allows him to be who he is.
Right.
And he doesn't really have to look behind at anything he says, how he reacts, because he's just a goofy, fun guy.
Right.
And it's welcomed here and embraced.
Yeah.
And
It's
it's fabulous.
He is so refreshing in the sense that I've been doing this 31 years, and I've been around a lot of players, especially in a media
Hence the
role.
gray hair.
And a lot of guys. We've had a lot of great guys come through, but there hasn't been a lot of total personalities. And Brandon, I remember 2 years ago, was interviewed for a radio station, and they said, "What do you do in the off? Like if you have a day off down in spring training, do you go golf? Do you go to the ocean?" And Brandon picked right up on the ocean. He said, "Man, I don't go into the ocean. That's Mr. Shark's world." And he goes into detail and he talks about how it'd be like, if Mr. Shark comes over to my house and comes in my head and he wasn't invited, and I'm going to do everything possible to get Mr. Shark out of there, just like he has every right to get me out of that ocean because that's his world. And it was like that's just such a great original answer, and he does it with that infectious enthusiasm.
Right.
So.
No, and it's partly my fault because I made him watch Shark Week. That was coming out when he was younger.
And we grew up with Jaws.
Right. So he's definitely afraid of, not afraid, but does not like the ocean.
Respect.
Yes.
Respect.
Nice way to say it. Respect. Absolutely. I like it.
My wife saw her older brother took her to see Jaws down at the beach. On the boardwalk, and she was probably 7 years old, and to this day she won't go past their ankles in the ocean. So.
Well, now they're coming up right up to shore. So, I'm not with her. I'm not mad at her for that.
Well, Sonia, I can't thank you enough for coming on.
Thank you.
And,
thank you so much.
We'll see you outside during the game here. And most importantly, happy Mother's Day.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. Thanks for loving Brandon.
Oh, the best.
Thanks for loving it.
That's easy.
Take a listen to the podcast.
I will.
And I'll tell the Houston family you said hello.
Yes, yes.
And Jimmy.
Shout out.
Yeah.
Shout out. Thank
All right.
you. Take care, guys.
Sonia Marsh. That was awesome, Tommy. All right, coming up in the show, we're going to talk some baseball. We're going to get some news on Trey Turner. Talk about how we're going to deal with that. What we're going to do with the rotation with Spencer Turnbull. We'll get some other inside knowledge.
I'm interested in
from our man Scott Lauber coming up. You're listening to the Baseball Insider Show, presented by BCWSA. We are live from the CP Rankin Club at Citizens Bank Park.
Energy costs are skyrocketing. Now is the time to upgrade your old heater and air conditioning systems to more efficient units to save on your utility bills. Harris Comfort can also handle all your propane needs, as well as providing sales and service on whole house generators. Harris Comfort is still family owned and has been serving our area for over 60 years, providing sales, service, installation, and peace of mind. Call 215-788-4596 or go to harriscomfort.com. Harris Comfort, still family and still local.
Think banking hasn't changed? Think again. At Penn Community Bank, we've been helping communities thrive for 150 years. From our nationally recognized Access Checking that offers the peace of mind of no overdrafts, to student and free checking plus options with perks that will make you wonder what you did without them, like early direct deposit, overdraft grace, and Zelle. Learn more at PennCommunityBank.com/products. Penn Community Bank. Here we grow. Account and feature terms, restrictions, and conditions apply. Ask for full details. Member FDIC.
BCWSA customers, former Phillies pitcher Tommy Greene here. I played on the 1993 National League champs, so I know a thing or two about what it's like playing on a winning team. BCWSA has all the ingredients. They make it easy for their customers to get automatic updates by text, email, or phone anytime there is a disruption in your service area. You can even customize your alerts by going to bcwsa.net. That's bcwsa.net. BCWSA, your partner for a safer environment. BCWSA, proven.
Head out to Dion Square, located at South Oxford Valley and South Olds Boulevard, to get all your essentials in one place, with the following businesses ready to serve you: Pat Dion Beverages, CVS Pharmacy, Hair Cuttery, Smile Culture Dental, Biomat, Liberty Auto Tags, Pennsylvania Fine Wine and Spirits, Lee's Hoagie House, R&J Smoothies and Juices, AutoZone, and First National Bank and Trust of Newtown. Make Dion Square your one stop for all your shopping needs at South Oxford Valley Road and South Olds Boulevard in Fairless Hills.
With over 7,200 square feet of 200 brewers in stock at all times, Pat Dion Beverages now features 5 different flavors of their favorite slushy cocktails. You can also purchase all your wine, liquor, and other fine spirits right next door. Visit us on Facebook or online at patdionbeverages.com for upcoming events and samples from your favorite brewery or local food vendor.
We now return to the Baseball Insider Show, presented by BCWSA. Once again, here are your hosts, Phillies Director of Fun and Games, John Brazer, and former pitcher from the 93 National League champion Phillies, Tommy Greene.
All right, we are back to the Baseball Insider Show, presented by BCWSA. We are live from the CP Rankin Club at Citizens Bank Park. I'm John Brazer, joined by my co-hosts Tommy Greene. And Tommy, consider a career at Septa. Septa is hiring a variety of skilled trade positions, including mechanics, electricians, plumbers, masons, painters, carpenters, welders, millwrights, and more. And as a SEPTA employee, you will earn competitive compensation, great benefits, including medical, dental, prescription, and a pension. Visit jobs.septa.org to apply today. That's jobs.septa.org. All right, Tommy, there's a lot going on with the Phils, as we mentioned earlier.
Oh, yeah.
A very good week for the Fighting Phils, 5-1.
5-1 for the week.
They're even creating separation on the Braves. It just we haven't done that in a long time.
I'd like to leave well enough alone. Just keep losing. That's the way I look at them guys over there right now.
Well, to get into, we got a lot of things to talk about with some injury situations, which is going to change the dynamic a little bit. And let's bring them on right here. Our most favorite guest from the Inquirer, Scott Lauber. Scott, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
Great. All right, so let's tackle the Trey Turner. Obviously, we got some bad news. Trey Turner the other night came home from second, right?
Yep.
And great play on his part, but he managed to pull a hamstring. And then, just when he left the game, and obviously it says he's going to be out probably around 6 weeks. Now, it could be earlier. But how does that affect, who can play? What is Rob Thompson going to be doing now? Obviously, we brought up Cody Clemens. What is the play at short?
So, when I heard Trey the other night say, how did he phrase it? He said, I'm going to, the trainers are going to want me in there faster than I'm going to want to get in there because I never like to be hurt, and I'm kind of annoying when I'm injured. And I kind of knew, all right, like there's something going on. It's going to be more than a few days. I did not think it was going to be 6 weeks.
They put a grade on it?
That's a good question. I have not been told what I'm sure they did. I don't know what it is. But obviously the strain, which is a tear, is a little bit
depends
more.
On what, 1, 2, or 3.
Yeah.
3's like nasty.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's a 3. It's obviously not a 1 if it's going to be 6 weeks. So, so they have a few options. Edmundo Sosa's on the team in part because he plays shortstop. So he's going to get a crack at this early on. One thing we've seen from Sosa, though, over the last few years, and this is not – it's going to sound like a criticism. He's a valuable part of the team coming off the bench, but when he plays – a string of games in a row, sometimes he gets a little exposure at the plate, word, right? So if that happens, they have another option, and it's a good one, where you move Bryson Stott back to short, play Whit Merrifield at second. Merrifield's been a second baseman throughout his career. He's played everywhere, but second base primarily, and he's been an everyday guy throughout his career, and Stott's a natural shortstop. So
and Cody Clemens can play second base.
Yeah. Cody Clemens can play second base, correct. So
the big thing is, has Stott played and kept his arm
right
to where he can handle some of the throws and stuff over there more. I don't know if he's done that or not.
Yeah, and that's one of the questions they had hoped to get an answer to this weekend. They wanted him to go out there before yesterday's game and today's game and take some grounders at short, but it's rained. So the tarp's been on the field. He hasn't really gotten a chance to go out there and test it. Doesn't mean he has to before he plays short. He might play short tomorrow. It's possible. But it's not ideal. He hasn't played short since Game 6 of the World Series in 2022. And I do think you probably want him to get out there and make some throws first. So he's messed around a little bit at short in the past, but not seriously because it's Trey Turner's position. So, that's what they may ultimately settle on. But right now, it's Sosa's going to go out there and play and get a chance to do it every day and
ride him while he's hot. The way I look at it,
ride him while he's and maybe he puts together a nice run here.
All right, let's go to pitching. So tonight we have Taijuan Walker making his second start of the year. Spencer Turnbull went the other day, so you still have him in play. And then we heard that Zach Wheeler doesn't like pitching. He likes to pitch every fifth day, right? And I think Nola does too for the most part. So explain where you see the pitching rotation now.
So Spencer Turnbull is headed to the bullpen-ish. And I say ish because they want to keep him stretched out. Like, Tommy knows this. Yeah. Everyone knows this. You're going to go through a year, you're going to need more than 5 starters.
God, yeah.
Right? So you know that at some point Spencer Turnbull's going to have to go back in the rotation, and it's easier to keep him stretched out rather than have to stretch him out if he goes to the bullpen and gets narrowed down. So I think Rob Thompson's not saying this, but I think in a perfect world he'd like to have Turnbull pitch in kind of what they call a piggyback arrangement behind Christopher Sanchez. It would help them not only to keep Turnbull stretched out, it would help monitor Sanchez's innings a little bit because I think he threw 100 innings last year, so he's not like a 200-inning-a-year guy yet in the big leagues. So it would accomplish both of those things. The problem is if Turnbull goes to the bullpen, he is one of your 8 relievers back there, and if you need him before Sanchez's turn, you're going to use him. So they don't want to, commit to a piggyback and then not have him available or not have him ready. So if he needs to pitch tonight, if he needs to pitch tomorrow, he's obviously not going to follow Sanchez on Tuesday. I think they'd like to avoid having that happen and then be able to split the Tuesday start. And Rob Thompson has said something that's kind of interesting. He said they could even flip-flop. So let's say you're facing a lineup that's very righty-heavy.
Yeah.
You know, you might want Turnbull to start that game as opposed to
right.
Sanchez.
And if they have a good bench that are lefties, right? That could be flipping it.
Exactly. So, they could play around with that if they do the piggyback thing. So I kind of think that's where they want to go with this. It would make it easier on Turnbull, who's never been a reliever before, and it would kind of like, hey, you're pitching today, heads up. You might come in the 5th inning, but you're going to pitch today. So
that's all about buying. I've had to do some of that. I mean, that's all about mentally buying into what you're doing. Is preparing yourself to be aggressive, to be ready that day, knowing your body. I mean, it could come out of this better than you think.
Yeah.
I know it helped me. I know.
Have you been a part of so we asked Rob Thompson the other day, like, have you ever done this in the big leagues? And he said, no, I've done a lot of things in the minor leagues, like with rotations and whatnot. Have you ever been part of a piggyback or in a rotation that used that?
No.
Yeah.
But I pitched a lot being the long man out of the bullpen. This first month.
Yeah.
Back when I did relieve for the Phillies it was 91.
Yeah.
I had more innings than all the starters except for Mulholland.
Yeah.
After the first month. That showed you how we were doing. So
all right,
I was already stretched out. I was stretched out in spring training to be a starter.
So I think that's the other way to go here is just make him a conventional long man and, try to get him his innings that way. The problem is, Wheeler goes 7 or 8, Nola goes 7 or 8, Ranger goes 7 or 8. So where's he going to get those innings, ultimately? And what you don't want to have happen is you don't want him to go to the bullpen as the long man, and then he's not going multiple innings, and then all of a sudden someone goes down and you need him to fill in the rotation, and he's not built up. So I think you want to keep him stretched, but, that's difficult to do.
It's hard to do that because I know being the long man in the pen, you have to prepare yourself to pitch every day and also throw enough that you're staying in that realm. And I was, I guess, fortunate enough to pitch a lot because the other guys on the staff at the first part of that year didn't pitch many innings, and I got that thing. But he could possibly do that. It could work out because, I mean, I don't want to jinx anything or anything.
Sure.
The starting 5 are not going to go 7, 8 innings every time out.
Right.
There's going to be some times that he's going to be using. It depends on when they want to use him. I mean, it's that type of thing.
Now, the other part of this, too, which could factor in, the Phillies currently have the best record in baseball, right? You mentioned that they're in first place ahead of the Braves, who are losing today. This is not a position they have been in the last couple of years. They have been chasing and way behind, and they've had to kind of rally to get in a wild card position. If they continue to play from ahead, be front runners, you can do some things. Like you can keep Zach Wheeler on his regular day, but scale him back a little bit, right? Maybe he throws 80 pitches one start instead of 100, and you use Turnbull that way to kind of backfill some of the innings and keep him stretched like that.
All depending on how you're doing that game. I mean, there's a lot of variables that go into it.
Yeah.
But, I mean, somebody asked me today, I was talking to somebody, and it was another show we were talking about this morning, and it was talking about the or the 6-day going on a 6-man rotation or anything like that. And how did I feel about that? I said, guys, what you're dealing with starting pitchers. We're creatures of habit.
Yeah.
We love that routine. You know your body, how it feels. I said, some of the best times I've ever pitched in my life, I pitched on the 4th day.
Yeah.
On the 4th day back in the day when I come up through the Brave system and stuff like we had to do things because you start learning your body. But ultimately, the creatures of habit, the 5th day is what those guys want. And I can see Nola and Wheeler not wanting to vary off that too much. And it's good to have a day off. I mean, a pushback, a rain day every night. But you're talking the dog days of the summer. Yeah. That's when it's important.
And let's put this into context. Like they played 13 days in a row without an off day and 26 out of 27. So it's been kind of a busy first month for them with not many days off. So it wasn't like a crazy idea to say, hey, let's sneak an extra day. The thing is, and you know this, right? Like when you sneak an extra day, it's not like a day off, right? Like they're doing things on those side days.
Yeah.
They're throwing extra in the bullpen, or they're doing some extra throwing on the side.
Yeah, you're right. You're getting that extra day off the mound. Or it depends on how they do things now. I know, back in the Braves day, we were all 5 days, 5-man rotation. we were thrown off the mound twice in between,
Right.
I mean, but it was all controlled effort. You didn't hear the mitt pop. It was all getting off the mound,
Right.
maintaining everything, maintaining your field.
All right, before we let you go, and there's some food coming, I see Jason Firestone. I can't see into that, what he's got in that special little tin over there. But I think we're all excited, all four of us. But before we let you go, just talk about Ranger Suarez. He's tied for first in Major Leagues with 6 wins. He is just your classic old throwback.
Yeah.
He throws east, west, north, south. He's got 5 different pitches. He doesn't throw especially hard. He doesn't have an incredible spin rate, but he just gets it done old school.
Where did you come up with this word spin rate from you?
I don't
know.
What's the horizontal movement like,
what
or the vertical movement?
Brazer? You're going to the dark side.
I've been looking at that scoreboard on
He's
the
going to the dark
outfield
side.
wall.
No kidding,
and I'm
right?
trying to figure out
God.
what BABIP and XC whatever.
I call Ranger an old gunslinger. He's like an old Western.
He is old school.
He's just got that air, like that coolness to him. That's pretty cool.
Would we have called him a crafty lefty back in the day? You know, like
he would have been,
right,
But he throws. He can get it up there, man.
He can. You know, I think back to a couple of years ago, right? He didn't throw his curveball as much. He's really developed that pitch. His changeup's been almost unhittable. He throws that sinker, which is kind of his signature.
And he is not afraid to throw in.
No, he's not afraid to throw in. He also throws a 4-seamer, so he throws 2 different kinds of fastballs. You're in for a tough day when you're a hitter and you're going to face him because you don't know what he's going to throw. If he doesn't have something that particular day, he's got other things he can go to. His command has always been good.
Yeah, guess what's been the big key? His command. The other night he gave up a two-run homer. Is the only one of the few pitches. He's probably got away with many pitches already, but he didn't get away with that one. And he'll probably tell you that should have been hit.
And here's the other thing. He got to spring training on time.
Right.
So he had there were no visa delays. There were no injuries. There was no WBC where he got hurt last year. He got there on time. He made all his starts. He got kind of into a rhythm right away. And I've talked to some people who know him pretty well. Ranger would never let you know this, but I guess, he went home after last season. He started Game 7, did not go the way he wanted it to go. Not that he pitched awful or anything, but he expected to win that game. They, of course, did not. And he was a little bit ticked off about the whole thing.
So he came with a little chip on his shoulder.
So he came with a little chip on his shoulder, and maybe that had something to do with, making sure that all his I's were dotted and T's were crossed heading into spring training and getting there on time, putting in the work, and being prepared from the firfirst day. And it really shows.
And it's going to be interesting. We're going to have to start thinking about, just like we extended Wheeler and we extended Nola, I think we're going to be at the situation where
we're
about that
today.
They got some things. They got some things to think about.
I wrote about that today. It's going to be interesting because he's certainly pitching like a guy you'd want to extend.
Sure. All right, Scott, I can smell the food over there from Jason Firestone. So we're going to go to break. You get your little, not little.
Excellent.
You get whatever.
That's why I'm here.
And again, it's mystery. We don't know what's in there.
It's mystery.
All right, so coming up, we'll talk to Jason Firestone. Really appreciate it, Scott Lauber.
You bet.
You're listening to the Baseball Insider Show presented by BCWSA. We are live from the CP Rankin Club at Citizens Bank Park.
Energy costs are skyrocketing. Now is the time to upgrade your old heater and air conditioning systems to more efficient units to save on your utility bills. Harris Comfort can also handle all your propane needs, as well as providing sales and service on whole house generators. Harris Comfort is still family owned and has been serving our area for over 60 years, providing sales, service, installation, and peace of mind. Call 215-788-4596 or go to harriscomfort.com. Harris Comfort, still family and still local.
At Penn Community Bank, we're in the business of building thriving communities. That means breaking down the barriers to home ownership, supporting fair, affordable access to housing from Philadelphia to the Lehigh Valley, like our Home Opportunity Mortgage that empowers eligible borrowers with no minimum credit score, no down payment, access to grant programs, and so much more. Visit PennCommunityBank.com/home for more details. Penn Community Bank. Here we grow. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender. Account and feature terms, restrictions, and conditions apply.
This is Tommy Greene from the 1993 National League champion Phillies. And here's the pitch. BCWSA water and sewer customers, you have a new and improved option to pay your bill that's convenient, reliable, and secure. Powered by Invoice Cloud, you can pay your bill 24/7 online, pay by text or phone, or sign up for autopay to avoid fees for late or missed payments. Visit bcwsa.net to sign up or for more info. That's bcwsa.net. BCWSA, proven.
Head out to Dion Square, located at South Oxford Valley and South Olds Boulevard, to get all your essentials in one place, with the following businesses ready to serve you: Pat Dion Beverages, CVS Pharmacy, Hair Cuttery, Smile Culture Dental, Biomat, Liberty Auto Tags, Pennsylvania Fine Wine and Spirits, Lee's Hoagie House, R&J Smoothies and Juices, AutoZone, and First National Bank and Trust of Newtown. Make Dion Square your one stop for all your shopping needs at South Oxford Valley Road and South Olds Boulevard in Fairless Hills.
With over 7,200 square feet of 200 brewers in stock at all times, Pat Dion Beverages now features 5 different flavors of their favorite slushy cocktails. You can also purchase all your wine, liquor, and other fine spirits right next door. Visit us on Facebook or online at patdionbeverages.com for upcoming events and samples from your favorite brewery or local food vendor.
We now return to the Baseball Insider Show, presented by BCWSA. Once again, here are your hosts, Phillies Director of Fun and Games, John Brazer, and former pitcher from the 93 National League champion Phillies, Tommy Greene.
All right, we are back to the Baseball Insider Show, presented by BCWSA. We're live from the CP Rankin Club at Citizens Bank Park. I'm John Brazer, joined by my co-host Tommy Greene. Tommy, consider a career at Septa.
Yep.
Septa relies on and needs bus operators, train engineers, and conductors. As a Septa employee, you'll earn competitive compensation and great benefits, including medical, dental, prescription, and a pension. Visit jobs.septa.org to apply today. That's jobs.septa.org. All right, Tommy, our favorite part of the show. We have Jason Firestone here from Aramark. And as our listeners know, he comes by and gives treats to us.
Goodies.
And Scott Lauber just walked off with some, was it garlic parmesan?
Garlic parms. That's we're doing a wing flavor of the month out at PJ's. So wing flavor of the month for May is garlic parm.
That's awesome.
At PJ Wellahan's, which, again, I think I've told you, that's my daughter's favorite restaurant. We live out towards the Bluebell area, and that's her basically default restaurant. We say, where do you want to go?
Wellahan's.
Yeah, PJ Wellahan's. So great spot. All right, so we have the garlic parm, as you said. Right here, you got bomb fries?
Yeah, so that's ballpark bomb fries. So it's like a loaded fry. It's cut up boneless wings with your choice of sauce, blue cheese crumble, cut up celery, and fries with cheese sauce. So it's like a loaded fry. That's my go-to for dinner every night.
Wow. All right, then over here in front of Tommy.
That's your traditional boneless wings and fries. So
that's good. They're good, by the way.
We have
boneless wings.
We have garlic parm and barbecue. So we got all different kind of sauces out there in the alley.
Okay, and then over here between Chris Irmer and myself, we have, looks like an egg roll.
That was one of our new items last year. That's become a staple on our menu now, so cheesesteak egg rolls.
Y'all like that. He's brought that a couple
cheesesteak egg roll, yes. I love the cheesesteak.
Y'all kind of woofed them.
So, I had my
Chris over there.
My sister lives up in Boston, and her sister-in-law came down to Philadelphia. Had never been to this ballpark. Came last night to the ballpark game, and she wasn't even talking because she didn't really have a vested interest in the Phillies, but she was just kept raving about the food options here. Right?
Love to hear that.
That's awesome.
Because it really is. You walk all around and you're going to see.
And you put on 5 pounds, 10 pounds, not even eating. Even eating.
Absolutely.
Well, seriously, you can go see Bull's Barbecue, and then you got Federal Donuts, and then you get a Campos, and then you have PJ Wellahan's and Manco. And I mean, Uncle Charlie's cheesesteaks, and right, it just goes on and on and on.
We are very proud of the menu that we serve here. So
wow.
And in all seriousness,
I just put on 10 pounds.
do other? I mean, I know you've been to other ballparks and you've done tours and stuff to get some ideas. From a variety point of view, do other ballparks have this variety?
I don't think so. A lot of other stadiums I've been to, they kind of repeat menus at stands. Every one of our stands has a unique menu to it, and we bring a lot of local flavors in.
Right.
Yes, you do. In that, how about? Did you hear like when the new Yankee Stadium was built? It was like a lot of foo like stuff, I guess. Like sushi and whatever. I mean,
right. Well, I know they have sushi out in L.A. because. Right, during a playoff game when Matt
that just doesn't go to me in the ballpark.
When Matt Stairs hit the home run,
Cindy
Webster, who was with us, she went to get sushi, and she missed the home run because she was in line getting
Perfect.
sushi. So it's almost apropos, right? Who gets sushi at a ball game?
It just deserved a right.
So, well,
and just our chance to work with former players and Greg Luzinski,
right? Kyle Schwarber,
Charlie Manuel. We just had Kyle out to the stand today. Took some photos with the staff.
That's great.
Made some Schwarburgers up, so it was
and
really
Ryan Howard, obviously.
Yeah, Ryan Howard
with his chicken.
Like to be able to partner with former players on the team, it's awesome.
All right. Well, you know what, Jason? We're gonna take this on the road. We got to do a little media, external media tour. How about that? We'll get Kevin Tedesco and some others and bring it outside the ballpark, too.
You saw that turning in his head when he saw you over here, right?
All right. Well, Jason, I can't thank you enough, as always. Looking forward in 2 weeks when we see you again.
Thank you, guys.
All right.
Thank you.
Jason Firestone from Aramark. And, Chris, are we looking at a break right now? All right, we'll go to break. Coming up on the show, Tommy, we'll talk about the week in baseball.
Yeah.
We're going to bring you the stat of the week. We got a couple other little tidbits to tell you, and we'll tell you whether the Braves won or not. And we'll get you set up for tonight's, we'll do the little lineups for tonight's nationally televised game against the Giants. You are listening to the Baseball Insider Show presented by BCWSA. We are live from the CP Rankin Club at Citizens Bank Park.
Energy costs are skyrocketing. Now's the time to upgrade your old heater and air conditioning systems to more efficient units to save on your utility bills. Harris Comfort can also handle all your propane needs, as well as providing sales and service on whole house generators. Harris Comfort is still family owned and has been serving our area for over 60 years, providing sales, service, installation, and peace of mind. Call 215-788-4596 or go to harriscomfort.com. Harris Comfort, still family and still local.
Think banking hasn't changed? Think again. At Penn Community Bank, we've been helping communities thrive for 150 years. From our nationally recognized Access Checking that offers the peace of mind of no overdrafts, to student and free checking plus options with perks that will make you wonder what you did without them, like early direct deposit, overdraft grace, and Zelle. Learn more at penncommunitybank.com/products. Penn Community Bank. Here we grow. Account and feature terms, restrictions, and conditions apply. Ask for full details. Member FDIC.
BCWSA customers, former Phillies pitcher Tommy Greene here. I played on the 1993 National League champs, so I know a thing or two about what it's like playing on a winning team. BCWSA has all the ingredients. They make it easy for their customers to get automatic updates by text, email, or phone anytime there is a disruption in your service area. You can even customize your alerts by going to bcwsa.net. That's bcwsa.net. BCWSA, your partner for a safer environment. BCWSA, proven.
Head out to Dion Square, located at South Oxford Valley and South Olds Boulevard, to get all your essentials in one place, with the following businesses ready to serve you: Pat Dion Beverages, CVS Pharmacy, Hair Cuttery, Smile Culture Dental, Biomat, Liberty Auto Tags, Pennsylvania Fine Wine and Spirits, Lee's Hoagie House, R&J Smoothies and Juices, AutoZone, and First National Bank and Trust of Newtown. Make Dion Square your one stop for all your shopping needs at South Oxford Valley Road and South Olds Boulevard in Fairless Hills.
With over 7,200 square feet of 200 brewers in stock at all times, Pat Dion Beverages now features 5 different flavors of their favorite slushy cocktails. You can also purchase all your wine, liquor, and other fine spirits right next door. Visit us on Facebook or online at patdionbeverages.com for upcoming events and samples from your favorite brewery or local food vendor.
We now return to the Baseball Insider Show, presented by BCWSA. Once again, here are your hosts, Phillies Director of Fun and Games, John Brazer, and former pitcher from the 93 National League champion Phillies, Tommy Greene.
All right, we are back to the Baseball Insider Show, presented by BCWSA. We are live from the CP Rankin Club at Citizens Bank Park. I'm John Brazer, joined by my co-host Tommy Greene. And Tommy, thanks to Jason Firestone. My mouth is on fire right now.
Awesome.
So, Tommy, it is time now for the Smart Stat of the Week.
Yes.
Brought to you by Payroll Service Solutions, our buddy Dan Majoni. Majoni. Call him today at 1-866-PAY-EASY. That's 1-866-PAY-EASY.
What a good guy.
When we have a lot of good weeks, there are a lot of stats to say, so I'm going to throw some multiple stats.
And you're always in a great mood, too.
Very good mood right now. All right, so here is your Payroll Service Solutions Smart Stat of the Week. All right, so several of them. We'll start with Ranger Suarez. Ranger Suarez has earned the win in a quality start while allowing 2 walks or fewer in 6 consecutive games. The only other Phillies pitcher to do that since 1901 was Hall of Famer Grover Cleveland Alexander.
He was the man, too.
Who did so from July 7th to July 26th. The only one that we know that watched this game in 1916 was Chris Wheeler. He's
okay.
Just kidding, Wheels.
Oh, yeah.
I love you, Wheels.
Where's Wheels? I need to see
Wheels?
him.
I can't say it without Wheels being here. All right. Who else can I pick on? Larry Shank.
Barron, you got to watch out for the Barron. He'll get you.
He is also the first Phillies pitcher since Roy Halladay to win 6 of his first 7 starts in a season. So
that's awesome.
That is pretty awesome. All right. Jose Ruiz, who was added to the pitching staff as a reliever. He's been around for a while.
Yeah.
But he became the first Phillies relief pitcher since Francisco Morales in 2022 to pitch 2 or more innings while allowing no runs in his debut with the team. So how about that, Jose Ruiz?
Well, I didn't know that.
Hopefully he can continue his success.
That'd be awesome.
Well, now
we're great. It's like we talked about. We were talking about trade and stuff earlier. It's next man up type thing. You know, we got people having some issues. When Marte was throwing the ball good, I mean, him go down, we have to have people step up, come in and do that.
And we've got other guys too. If we had needed like Weston Wilson, down in AAA, and you've got Jim Haley, and you got Scott Kingery. So
little tail of the tape a little bit. The starting pitcher for the most part of the year has done the job. You know, I mean, and the relievers has kind of had a little bit. They struggled a little bit, some of them, and but this past week it was sort of like a little bit of a flip floppy, a little bit.
Right.
The relievers, man, they come in, and when we needed close games, we won some one-run ball games. We needed the win.
Yep.
I mean, that's why we're where we're at right now.
Exactly right. All right, so I can't say the stat of the week without Alec Bohm, because Alec Bohm extended his career-long hitting streak to 17 games. It matches the longest by a Phillies player from all of 2023. Bryson Stott had a 17-game hitting streak. It also ties Atlanta's Marcell Ozuna for the longest in baseball this season, and he's now just one of 4 Phillies infielders to have a hitting streak of at least 17 games in the last 30 years. He joins Bryson Stott, Chase Utley, did it in 34 games, and did it in 19 games, and 34 games he did in 2006, 19 games in 2007, and Jimmy Rollins did it from 2005 to 2006. He had 38 games. Yeah. So Alec Bohm is.
We're going to leave him alone, like we did last week. Remember I said today, just leave him alone. Just let him keep doing what he's doing.
Well, he leads Major League Baseball with a 364 average. He's tied for first in Major League Baseball with 32 RBI with Ozuna. So Alec Bohm is getting it done.
Yes, he is. Stay hot, dude.
All right, and that was your Philly Smart Stat of the Week. Once again, brought to you by Payroll Service Solutions. Call them today at 1-866-PAY-EASY for the smart choice in payroll services. Call them again at 1-866-PAY-EASY. All right, Tommy.
Mad Johnny.
So we have a lot to talk about. Okay. Yeah. So
where are you starting?
Well, we'll start with Sunday. We'll kind of briefly go through a lot of them. Sunday was, Bryson Stott hadn't gotten off to the greatest start. He would admit that. But I tell you what, last Sunday, obviously we did the show pregame, and Bryson, how about that? Hit two-run home runs.
Unbelievable.
And JT hit one.
Yep.
And Taijuan Walker, I know he got into the 7th inning and then gave up the 3-run home run, which made it a little too close for comfort.
Well, I mean, and that's the thing. I mean, you start talking. I was happy with his effort. And the line doesn't look good at the end, and because the runs he gave up were 2-run homer and 3-run homer.
Right.
And that's basically all his runs. And I mean, two bad pitches, and he paid for it.
Yep.
I mean, I thought he threw a pretty good ball game.
Well, how about the play of the day? Play of the day was when he, behind his back, swiped that. I mean, that's
look what I found.
That's what you expect Suarez to do, right? But man, Taijuan Walker made one of that had to have been a Sports Center top 5.
Oh, so, it had. I mean, it's good because I've caught balls behind my back, but it was like one hoppers, not line drives, or something like that, because you're just trying to make a whiff at it, because it's hitting the spot that it's going to be a base hit unless you get glove on it.
Well, Rojas had a good game. He had a double that extended the lead to 8-6. And how about the bullpen? Hoffman, Alvarado, getting it done. So that was good on Sunday night.
Those two guys at the end right now, knock on some wood.
Right.
They're throwing the ball pretty good, and Hoffman's been real impressive.
Now, Monday, Tuesday was basically a flip. Monday, we lose an excruciating game when we had the lead, and Tuesday we came back and had no right to come back and win that one.
Yeah.
So they kind of we went even, right? Because Monday was just a sloppy game.
Yeah.
We had errors. We had a lot, just sloppy.
Yeah.
People getting picked off at first base. Sanchez
that can't happen.
Sanchez didn't throw his best game. He struggled. He didn't have his changeup. He threw his changeup, but he only threw it a handful of times.
Well,
he was basically a two-pitch pitcher at that point, sliders and sinkers. And
you can always tell. You look at the lines and box scores. If you start giving up more hits than the innings pitched,
yep,
you're in trouble.
Yep.
And then if you have a couple, add in a couple walks in there too.
Yep.
You're asking for trouble. You ask them to put on your backup legs and back up third base a lot.
And then when you have Sir Anthony struggled, he had a wild pitch, throwing error on whatchamacallit, on our backup catcher, Stubbs.
Stubbs, yeah.
So, so it was just a tough game. But, again, Tuesday we make up for it because we get that dramatic 7-5 win. And how about Rojas? How about Cassie? Cassie ties it up.
Man.
1 out going in the ninth inning, down.
It takes the village.
Down.
It takes everybody on the team, man.
We're down 1, and Cassie ties it up, right? And then Rojas gets a 2-run home run after Stock gets a double. Yeah. And how about that one? So, again,
that happened quick,
You taketh and you giveth away. And we tooketh right there.
Well, see, that's the thing. You look back in years past, what would have been the tendency? We would lose ball games like that, the one-run games and stuff. It was like the fight in the dog wasn't quite there. There's a lot of fighting these guys past couple of years. You've seen it, and then it's good to see, especially that part of the lineup, Rojas get hot a little bit. Because he was taking it a little bit on the chin early in the season. Everybody,
and now nobody's talking about it, which is good.
And what we say earlier, I said, let him play. Leave him alone, let him play.
Yeah.
So
Chris Irma was just really tough on him. We had to set him straight.
we had to get Chris straight over there.
And Spencer Turnbull stayed out of trouble, right? Didn't have his best outing, but he was very good. He did not get knocked out of the game in the 6th, but everything's fine. And then the world crashed down.
Yeah.
Turner booted a ball and a home run.
Errors always hurt you. Yeah.
But it was a good comeback. We needed that comeback. Well, then Wednesday was a weird game. Wednesday you got Zach Wheeler on the mound, right? And he won his 3rd straight start, 5 innings pitched, 5 hits, 1 earned run, 6 Ks, great start, right? And good bullpen outing. But man, the offense, we got off to a 2-run lead thanks to Schwarber's 2-run single in the 2nd. But we struck out 18 times. Nick Castellanos struck out 4 times. Just everyone struck out.
Yeah. Riamuto 3.
Then we had someone thrown out at home. And as you said earlier, usually sometimes you lose those games. You strike out 18 times. You kidding me? You're going to lose that game. But Alvarado, Soto, Zach Wheeler saved the day.
Wheeler, obviously the line looks good. He didn't give up a 1 run. But you look at the 5 innings, you usually expect to see him at least 6 or 7.
Right.
At least. And you look at why. Look down below. The pitch count, they're going out there. He threw over almost going on 110 pitches, in 5 innings.
Yep.
So do the math. That's over 20 pitches an inning, which is what I know Major League average back in the day was like 15. So it was either his command was off a little bit, just not quite sharp, or credit the hitters. Right. Their hitters fouling off stuff and stuff like that.
And Scott said he doesn't like taking extra day off. So.
Yeah, it could be.
All right, no game on Thursday, but Friday, Bohm extended his hitting streak, 16 games.
Yeah.
Marsh drove in 2 runs.
Yep.
Phil's win a tight one. You mentioned the 1-game lead. Or 1-run games. They beat the Giants 4-3. Turner had 2 hits. Noel had a shortened outing. Noel didn't go very long. 4 innings pitched, 4 hits, 2 earned run, 4 walks, 4 Ks.
Errors hurt them. We took advantage of errors.
Yep.
That's what and our error didn't hurt us. So to speak, in the earned run department.
Yeah, and with Jordan Hicks, I was worried about that because he's a tough pitcher.
Usually good stuff.
Bullpen guy, but it got a little scary because they loaded the bases with no outs with 3 straight singles off Kirkering, but they get a double play grounder that scored a run.
Yeah. I'll take that any day of the week.
And then Conforto flew out, so the Phillies kept the lead. Again, you got to win these tight games.
Well,
right?
You know what? It's good to see him. got a little taste. That was his first runs he's given up, really, and really been hit. He gave up 3 base hits. I didn't see the base hits. I don't know what type of, if it was a CNI type or the, type things or not. But to get out of the situation, with just that, is a huge,
and that's gonna,
huge thing.
That's
and confidence move for him.
Right, that's going to help his development. Last night, a lot of good.
And then look who followed him up. Just Hoffman comes in and punches out 3.
You can't say enough good things about Hoffman.
He's been unbelievable.
And then Ranger Suarez Saturday night pitched 6 strong innings. Good to see Whit Merrifield homer. And Phil's routed 14-3.
Yeah.
Schwarber, Rojas, Stott each drove in 2 runs. Every starter had at least a hit for the Phillies.
Yeah.
And just great to see. We've won 15 of 18 games. Now, a little scared because Bohm left with a hip tightness, but
I didn't see that. What happened? He slipped or something?
I think just the weather was really, and we pulled him just out of, especially what was going on with Turner. But Suarez, 6 innings pitched, 7 hits, 3 earned runs, 1 walk, 6 Ks, and then Ruiz and Sir Anthony scoreless innings. So,
well, I mean, that's I wanted to give a little bit of love for him. His past 2 outings, he's been, scoreless, and I mean, after the bumps he's taken it on the chin a little bit.
He's responded,
and hopefully he keeps that good at going. Give him some love a little bit.
Yep, totally agree. All right, let's get to the lineups for tonight's. We can go for the sweep, right?
Hey, facing a tough customer too. It'd be nothing better to sweep this.
Very tough. Logan Webb, very good. So, all right, let's get the lineup. San Francisco, leading off center field, Young-Hoo Lee. Batting second, Lamont Wade Jr., playing first base. DH, a former Phillies killer when he was with the Mets.
I tell you what,
Wilmer
he's been
Flores,
around a while.
has.
I've always liked him. He's a good ball player, man. Been around for a while.
Conforto has killed the Phillies too in the past. Michael Conforto playing left field, batting cleanup. Matt Chapman, he of the A's and the Blue Jays, and now the Giants, playing third base. He's got 4 home runs this year. Mike Yastrzemski, obviously Carl Yastrzemski's nephew. Right field, he's got 3 home runs. Tyro Estrada playing second base, batting 7th. He's got 4 home runs. Then catching is a rookie, Blake Sable, 2 for 3 on the season. And Nick Ahmed, you probably remember him from the Diamondbacks.
Yeah.
He is batting 9th. And Logan Webb on the mound, 3-2 with a 2.98 ERA. 27 years old, 6th season. 45-34 with a 3.38 ERA in his career. Man. He throws a changeup, a sinker, a slider, and a 4-seamer. So a tough customer. For the Fighting Phils, you got Schwarber leading off. You got Real Muto catching, batting second. Harper batting third. First base. Bohm is in the cleanup, playing third base. Marsh batting 5th, playing left field. Castellanos 6th. Right field. 7th is Stott playing second. Sosa shortstop batting 8th. Rojas center field. Now, against Webb, Schwarber is 2 for 4 in his career with a home run.
Yeah.
Real Muto is 1 for 1. Harper's 2 for 5. Bohm's 0 for 5. But Casty, watch out for Casty. He is 3 for 5 with a home run. And Taijuan Walker, 13th season, is on the mound. 1-0 with an 8.53 ERA, 1.58 WHIP. And Taijuan Walker, he relies on a split-fingered fastball, a sinker, a cutter, a 4-seamer, a curveball. And
we call that a kitchen sink.
He's got the kitchen sink. Let's hope that kitchen sink is working.
Yeah, I mean, if he pitches like he did last time, except for that maybe one pitch there at the last, I mean, he had a really good outing.
You got a rested bullpen, so it should be good. So, all right, Tom, that wraps up today's Baseball Insider Show, presented by BCWSA, live from the CP Rankin Club at Citizens Bank Park. Thanks to my co-host Tommy Greene, our on-site engineer Chris Ermer, back to the studio Brooks St. Ives. Thanks to our guests today, Scott Lauber from the Inquirer, Sonia Marsh, mother of Brandon Marsh, and Jason Firestone from Aramark. We're going to be back next Sunday from 12:30 to 1:40 at the Pines Tavern in Bristol, PA. We love the Pines Tavern. Before the Phils take on the Miami Marlins without Luis Araz because he's got traded. Until then, have a great night. And as the late, great Harry the K says,
we're out of here.
1490 WBCB and 107.3 FM W297CL Levittown.